So welcome back to the channel, and welcome to my review for episode 2 of Star Trek Picard season 3. This episode here is entitled Disengage. Has this show proven to be good so far, or have we now started to see a decline in this episode, much like the previous seasons of Picard? Let's discuss it, let's talk about it, and let's find out. Okay, yeah, so here we are. I've just got watching this episode and I need to talk about it. There will be spoilers in this review, so keep that in mind. If you haven't seen the episode yet and wish to step away, please do so. Watch the episode, maybe come back, watch it then, and join me in the comments section where I do reply to most comments, or all comments. I do try to reply to all comments, get a little bit of a discussion going. So this episode here follows direct on from the last episode, but before getting into that, we have a flashback to incidents that occurred 2 weeks earlier on board Beverly Crusher's vessel with her son Jack. This is them on a sort of supply run, trying to deliver medical supplies to a certain location, this planet, where Jack ends up bribing these individuals, but we come to find out that they've sort of double-crossed him. And then we jump forward to the two ships confronted, Beverly Crusher's vessel and this new vessel, which we come to find out is called the Shriek, which is based upon the name of a bird, or shrike I should say, sorry. And this vessel here, I will say, the aesthetics of this vessel, very, very similar in design to the ship that comes through in the first episode of the Kelvin timeline, that first Star Trek vessel, Nero's ship. Do you see a similarity in that? Well, let me know. Anyway, so we come to find out that, well, we get this scene in which Riker actually infers to Picard that Jack Crusher could potentially be his son. He sees a similarity. He sees Picard in him. And then we jump away and we catch up with Raffi. Now, Raffi herself, she's still trying to track down the individuals that are responsible for the destruction of this Starfleet headquarters, this Starfleet. Oh, it's actually a place where people can go and join Starfleet. And we've come to find out that 170 people have died, and she's told by her handler to let it go, to step away from it, and that basically it's this Romulan named Lurok Toluco who was involved in the incident, but she doesn't believe this. She wants to find out more, and it leads her to a Ferengi fella named Sneed. Yes, and this comes into play later in the episode, but the scene with her, the scene with Raffi, this first scene with her I did have problems with, because she's very much overacting, incredibly so. Almost, it's not very good acting on her part, and it's full of just exposition, this scene here, and it's a hint at some bad writing within the episode, but there we go. We come to find out that the crew of this vessel that is confronting Picard and that is actually after Jack. They are after Jack's son for some reason, but they end up getting rescued by the Titan. 7 of 9 managed to talk the captain Shaw into going to rescue them, that it's better off to save them and be a hero that saved the heroes, rather than be someone who history would remember as let them die. So the Titan steps in, beam everyone across. And then we come to learn that this new ship, this evil ship, has actually got a new form of weaponry, in which it's a reverse tractor beam. So it ends up throwing Beverly Crusher's vessel at the Titan, which damages the top of it. It looks very good. It's all very nice, special effects wise and all this. A bit ludicrous. It does look a bit ludicrous when that scene happens, but there we go. We come to find out that Raffi has an ex-husband I don't know. Have we known that before in previous seasons? We may have done. I don't know. But a little bit of melodrama occurs there, and she's trying to get to find Sneed, even though she's been told to step down by her handler. She decides not to. She still does her investigating, and it takes her to this Ferengi, who basically believes that she is Starfleet, but she says that she isn't, that she actually worked for Laruk Toluco, and that she's coming to find out why he sort of used him as his scapegoat for this incident. Being that this Ferengi is the geezer who bartered the deals between different individuals. The Ferengi guy makes Raffi use this drug that's used taken into the eye. Which is actually a thing in reality that can be done, believe it or not. And she still believes that he still believes that she is Starfleet, and he knows that she's lying about working for Toluco, because Toluco's actually dead, and you've got his head, or the Ferengi guy's got his head behind his sofa and pulls it out. I like this stuff. I like this stuff a lot because it kind of pointed towards a seedier side of the Star Trek universe that I don't believe we've really seen before. That drug side of it and all this. Very sort of more adult orientated storytelling, but I liked it. It was very interesting and intriguing to me. And that's got to bring me on to mention about the amount of people that are smoking in this episode. There's a load of people smoking in this episode. The bad person, the individual who's captaining this evil vessel, she's smoking away. You know, the Ferengi guy's having a little puff. Other people outside are having a smoke. What's his face in the last seasons was a smoker with his cigars. What's this programme got about smoking? I don't know, but it's you know, in every season of it, which is sort of new for Star Trek. And that evil person, sorry, the woman, is Captain Vadic. How can I forget that and not mention that? I don't know, but there we go. We get a little comment about Picard's synthetic state, which is nice, because I thought that might have been something that they decided to sort of drop along the way and sort of go without mentioning, but it was mentioned here. But yeah, so this episode here, it kind of ends with the reveal that when Beverly Crusher wakes up, she does sort of reveal, just for a couple of little nods and eye shakes and all this sort of thing. She doesn't speak. She reveals that, actually, yeah, Picard, this is your son. At which point Picard decides to not send Jack over to Captain Vadic's vessel. He even escaped trying to get over there to protect his mother. But Picard orders the Titan shut down and essentially uses his admiral position to take control and use his authority. And then they head off into a nebula, like it's always done in Star Trek. Let's go and hide in the nebula, because as we know in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, you know, your sensors don't work and all this sort of thing. It's a good hiding place, tactical hiding place. So that's pretty much the episode. So yeah, so I've got to be honest with you. I thought this episode was great. I really enjoyed it. I mean, there's a couple of bits that I you know, as you know, I've criticised some of the acting, some of the writing, but it's a whole lot better than what we've had from Star Trek Picard before. Obviously at the end, and I didn't mention this in the story structure, we get to see Worf. Yes, Worf comes in. He is the handler for Raffi, which is no surprise. And he kind of rescues her. He beheads the Ferengi. Fantastic stuff with his batleth. I think it's his batleth anyway. But, you know, it's really nice to see Michael Dorn step back into that role. He looks great. He looks fantastic. He still sounds like Worf. And brilliant stuff. So this episode here, it's got a lot to like. It looks fabulous. Okay, we know that this Star Trek is aesthetically far different than Star Trek of the past. It's a lot grungier. It's a lot darker. It's not got that light, friendly, nice sort of look to it that Star Trek used to have. It's more of a dingy, darkly lit Star Trek. But that aside, you know, we've got to get used to that. That's the new aesthetic for it. This was a really strong episode. A really strong episode. I'm not going to go into speculation of what's what and what's happening where. But like I said, I don't know if it's just a design thing that this vessel looks like Captain Nero's or Nero's vessel in the first Star Trek, Abrams Star Trek film. If that's just coincidence or what. But probably nothing more than that. But yeah... fantastic stuff. So what did you think of this episode? That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in your thoughts on it. Your thoughts can go down below. Let me know whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it. Did it work for you? Didn't it work for you? All conversations to be had. Also, if you've got any speculation as to what's going on, you know, I'd love to know. How are these two stories going to combine, the Raffi story and the Picard story? There must be a interconnectivity somewhere, as opposed to being two separate storylines. And the other thing I will say is that I've come to like Captain Shaw in this episode. I will end on that. I didn't mention him really too much, but he had a sort of a turnaround on his little character arc, and I think I'm going to enjoy his performance, his role within this series. Yeah, so this is AJ. Let me know, like I said, let me know down below, and let's talk about it. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care all, and goodbye.